It is 9 o'clock on the 30th of September. What happened to this year? It's kind of vanished. I've been on a fitness journey. I am trying to make myself stronger, and I think I've mentioned this a few times. I've had some goals for myself for a very, very long time, like years, and I've actually got a video that I've been working on. I started working on after a New Year's resolution video a few years back, so it's probably 3, maybe we're on to 4 years now since I started that video. When I started this fitness journey for myself. And in that video I said that I wanted to get just a hint of abs and bigger glutes. I'll get into that in the actual video because this is not that video. That video will happen when I've actually reached my goal. This is just sort of what I'm doing right now. And what I am doing right now is I hired a personal trainer, because that last little bit that you want to get can be really hard to push yourself enough to do it and to know that you're doing it in the right way, not going to hurt yourself. I've only ever been in a gym twice, I think, maybe even just the once. Back when I was a teenager, I went to the gym, and I think the only thing I did was maybe step on a treadmill, but mostly sit on the bicycle and read a book. That's what me and my friend did, and it was so boring. I did not enjoy myself. I never went back. The only knowledge I have of gym equipment is what I've seen on YouTube, so I have researched it a lot, but technique is a big part of using equipment. If you do it wrong, you can hurt yourself, or you could just be not getting the right benefit out of it. You're not doing it right, so you're not actually working the right muscles. So I thought the best thing to do was to hire a personal trainer, and he's actually someone I used to go to school with. I'm on to week 2 so far. My body hurts. I will get into that. The main goal is to tone and get stronger, because my body is not that strong. I have loose ligaments down the left side of my body, which means that my joints don't get held in strongly enough and they start to ache after a while. I'll quite often just fold my arms just to lift that shoulder up, which makes me look a bit grumpy, but I'm literally just protecting my shoulder because it hurts. But strengthening that would be a great thing to do for me. I'm also working on my splits again, because that was something I was working towards, but with everything that happened, I kind of put myself on the back burner, where I was not really focusing on me, I was focusing on Key. So everything I was doing for myself, I just kind of stopped. But now it's time to focus on me again a bit, before I get a puppy and have to focus on them. He sent me a program for what to do throughout the week, and he has been looking at my food diary that I've been having to send to him, so that he can tell me where I need to increase, because I don't eat enough. I eat as much as I can fit in me, but if I don't burn enough calories, I'm not hungry enough for it, it's not going to help build the muscles that I need. He's telling me that I'm probably going to have to increase certain foods. Sometimes carbohydrates, just so I've got more energy, sometimes more protein, which I am trying to up anyway, which you probably noticed me whenever I'm baking something, I'm adding protein powder. So Mondays are a core exercise. That was yesterday. The core exercises are 3 different ones. Dead bug, which is something I'd never heard of before. I've seen the movements before, but I've never heard it called dead bug. Russian twists, which I find difficult supporting myself without hurting my back. I'm sure that'll come with a stronger core. And I use a little 1 kilo dumbbell. I don't have a 2, I'd probably use a 2 because the 1 is quite light, but the 3 is too heavy. And then the last one is, I can't remember what they're called. I will just show you, just using a dumbbell. And then when I went to see him, because I was doing both sides, he just suggested put a weight in either side, and then I wouldn't need to separate the 2 movements, just do both sides at the same time. So that's what I'm doing in future. And then today, which is Tuesday, it is a home conditioning circuit, 5 or 6 different exercises. Only miss it well when you're going home. Push-ups. Push-ups, no fun. Oh, we got mountain climbers. I'll make you while I lose my mind. I could do a lot more of them this time than I did the first time. So I'm heavy breathing into the microphone. One more, then we get flutter kicks. And then we get to do a cool down stretch. That was a really long 30 seconds. Wednesday is my swim. I actually started that the week before we started the programme. So I have done 2 swims. Also on the same day, I'll go back to the core exercises. Then Thursday is gym. And last week I had my first gym session. The gym that my personal trainer works at is actually at the back of my old school, my secondary school. So I think from age 11, and just walking through the school after hours is just weird. And to see how much things haven't changed and then the things that have changed, it was very weird. Plus, I didn't actually know where the gym was, and it was at the other end. So I literally went in the front gate and had to walk all the way around to get to the back. I had to ask this guy who was in karate, gi, and he was going the same way, thankfully. Otherwise, I'd have been wandering for a while. Weird being back at my old school. I've got to figure out where the gym is. Oh wow, sunset, how pretty. Where's the gym at? Oh, I have not walked in here for such a long time. Weird. I don't have a clue. Is it down there? Signage. Gym? Anyone see a gym? I've got absolutely no clue where this gym is.
Okay, disclaimer, this is 10 kilos heavier than the last 2 sets. Good.
I know it sounds silly, but I've always wanted to try leg press, and I did, and I quite liked it. I think that might be included in our push days.
Brilliant stuff. Nice job. That's the face you're supposed to pull at the end.
So the first day was just getting used to the machines and seeing how strong I am, what I can lift. And I did some deadlifts, which I have also never done before. I've only ever used dumbbells, so I've never used a barbell. And I was lifting 35 kilo, which is not a lot, but I don't have a lot to lift with, so it was a good starting point. And then on Friday, it is a HIIT workout, so that's in treadmill or outside if the weather allows, to do sprints and then walks. And then Saturday is gym again, and that was when I destroyed all of my muscles, particularly my back. And it was pull exercises, starting with some deadlifts. We then did Romanian deadlift, and those where you got to stick your bum up in the air, and I think that was where I really felt these muscles right here. I don't think I've ever really worked them before. I felt that the day after and the day after that. I could barely bend. Like getting from a sitting position to a standing position, that was hard work. As of yesterday, I could start to bend over. I mean, I can still feel them engaging as I bend forward, but nowhere near as bad as it was after the first day.
No, I think it's weird. Oh, Jodie, you're so much in pain.
Those muscles have just never been used.
There, the little guy finished the lawn.
There's a nice big pile of grass on the slabs, but bending is not one of my skills right now. But then as my back started to ease off, all of the other muscles started to come in, like even flexing there, I can feel these muscles down here. In the front of my feet, because I'm doing my stretches, this I can feel when I point and flex my foot. So I can literally just feel all of my muscles at the moment. So that was on Saturday. And then straight after that, we then walked into town, which I showed in a video. We went into the harbour, and well, didn't actually climb in the harbour, although that might have felt good. But that was another walk. And then afterwards I just wanted a nap. But I was much, much hungrier. It definitely increased my appetite. My body was burning through the calories quickly to repair my muscles after that. And then Sunday is my active rest day. And I wasn't feeling very active because I was sore. But I did get the strimmer out and followed the robot mower around the garden and, not strimmer, I used shears because that's a bit more of a workout if you're just chopping the grass like that. So that's what I did, but my back hurt too much to pick up the grass, so there's just a mound of grass on the patio at the moment that I didn't want to have to bend over and pick up and put in the compost bin. Today I have to do my home conditioning, tomorrow swim and then core, and then also what we're going to do is measure my body fat because I am really curious to see what it's at and then what it would be like at the end. It is fascinating to me. I just really want to know. So we're going to do that on Wednesday evening.
Well, so you've got like all this, so in-body scanner. Yeah, if you stand on it in an old position, make sure you're right.
Measuring your weight. Do not grab the handles or move. Input your personal information. Starting your in-body test.
And then Thursday it's back to gym and it should be a push. So hopefully my muscles are still sore from the pull exercises. Hopefully they won't cross over too much. They probably will. That is what I'm doing at the moment. I also need to take a new photograph for my driving licence because it's been 10 years and my driving licence runs out in November. So I need to take a new photograph, which is good. I'll show you. When I first got my driving licence, I had bleach blonde hair, root to tip, and my driving licence picture makes me look like a ghost. So I don't think I really look like this anymore. 10 years ago, that's what I look like on my driving licence. You can barely see where my hair is. It just kind of blends into the background. So I need to retake that and send off for that before the 4th of November. But yeah, it's hard to believe it's been 10 years already. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one.